So then moving on to the big game, India, Pakistan. Where do we start here, realistically? I know toss isn't a big factor, but what do you do as a captain if you win the toss?
I would look at chasing if I'm honest. And it's plainly because of their Pakistan strike rate. Now that has been a talk recently with the openers. But what's underrated is the talk about the strike rate for the middle order. Because if their top order clicks, their middle order is failing. Their middle order clicks, their top order is failing. So there's no balance in that. So I would honestly bowl first, have a target to chase. Because I mean, we it's really obvious because how we have been batting when we bat first is plain out go big, and especially in that condition with the new ball, Shaheen shot Afridi again. I'm honestly excited to see their battle, the openers, the top three versus Shaheen. But I have a feeling that if we bat first, we might lose early wickets. So
Yeah,
I would rather
yeah.
have the players like use the fielding, use the bowling first as their warm up for that game, and then bat second.
Now we move on to the playing 11 of India. So the questions. Harshal Patel does he make it into the squad? I mean, to the playing 11?
In mine, no, he doesn't.
Because I feel like
I would.
Hardik Pandya can do a better job for the bowling department than Harshal Patel has of recent. I know he's been doing well. He bowled a very well 19th over, 5 runs. Shami is also there. I feel like he'll make it in front of Harshal Patel in the opener.
Shami, we don't have experience, right? Like we can't go with Herschel and Arshdeep and just back on Bhuvi, because if Bhuvi fails, we don't have a backup experienced player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
we have Hardik, but
pressure on him, and
a lot of pressure. Realistically, I would personally say that I would go with my bowlers would be Bhuvi, Shami, Harshdeep, Ashwin, and Aksar, 2 spinners.
Okay, so Hardik's not bowling for you.
Pacers.
Hardik's not a bowler for you?
Hardik's in the 11. Hardik's in the 11.
So you're saying
bowling
Akshar
attack,
bowling,
my lower order.
Akshar and Ashwin are bowling, and then who gets the who shares 2 overs with Hardik?
Aksar.
You think Aksar?
Yeah.
Because you're expecting Aksar to bowl on the power play. He'll bowl 3 overs in power play with Bhuvi. So then Hardik is only getting 1 over. You think 2?
If it was me, I would only use Aksar in the power play. Just 2 overs, be done with it. Now, obviously, if Ashwin is going expensive, then I would cut him off, and then have Aksar and Hardik. So it's always going to be a mix-up between Ashwin and Aksar.
But then what about Shami? Because Shami bowled 1 over, which is the last over of the warm-up match. So what do you think about
that too?
That's a bit interesting, I thought.
That means fact.
I'm expecting Arshdeep to bowl with the new ball if Shami is only bowling in the death, which is our main problem anyway. So if Shami's not opening the bowling, he didn't bowl in the middle overs, and he bowled only the last over. That means that Bhuvi and then Akshar or Arshdeep are in the power play.
Okay.
And then possibly Hardik.
In power play, I'm gonna bowl Bhuvi straight out, 3 overs back to back. His job, early breakthrough. That's what that's what I would say to Bhuvi. Okay, and then I would bowl Aksar 2 overs from the other end, right from the start. And then what is it? 6th over, that's where I would bring my first change. I would either bowl Shami or Hardik. I wouldn't bowl Harshdeep in the power play at all. And this would change if the team decides Aksar not to bowl in the power play, I'll bowl Hershdeep in the power play for that lefty righty lefty. But other than that, I think power play should be Bhuvi 3 overs, Aksar 2 overs, and then I would personally want Shami to still bowl 1 over with the new ball. So
Okay.
I don't know how it's gonna work. Maybe Aksar bowls 2nd over and 6th over, and then Shami bowls 4th.
Okay, that's a bit interesting. Arshdeep not bowling a single in the power play because he did a good job against South Africa. You have to say that he improved his swing.
He did. He got it to swing.
What doesn't get him that role in the power play? Because I believe Arshdeep will bowl in the power play.
He will most likely end up bowling the power play. I will tell you that. Okay. The captain would probably have him bowling the power play, especially after what happened in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally think the opposite team is going to be set. The batters are not going to be set. Mostly the batters aren't going to be set from ball 1. So if I don't give them any pace to work with, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to set. So make mistakes, give us wickets.
But in my defense, Pakistan already take their time in the power play anyway. So what do you do then?
See, that's what I like. Okay, because with Aksar is the arm balls are very effective when it's stump to stump. That's what I would expect Aksar to bowl. Now, obviously, it's between the team management to see if it's Hershdeep who they want to bowl. Now, since it is Australia, I would probably assume he's going to be bowling. But this is my personal choice. I want Aksar to bowl 2 overs in power play, and Hershdeep none in power play. Because I see Hershdeep as a death over bowler and a middle overs bowler. I don't see him as a power play bowler. Yes, he can swing the ball, but out of all the games, even we will even take IPL and international matches. Out of all the games, do you think he was effective in the power play or the death?
Has to be death. Has to be.
Exactly. That's why I would bowl 3 back-to-back Arshdeep in the death.
Okay. Another thing is you didn't pick Chahal in your 11.
Yeah.
Who gets in, Ashwin or Chahal?
I'm backing Ashwin for his experience. If he doesn't do good, then Chahal will probably come in. But at the same time, I also think that choice they might bring in Chahal in front of Ashwin because he's a wrist spinner, and just because of his variations, honestly. But Ashwin also has the variations. But I see Ashwin as more of like a bowler that can control runs in the middle overs.
Yes.
When the teams want to start with
different
variations.
This is a technical choice. This is not whoever's better. This is a technical choice against Pakistan. Pakistan, how do you think they're gonna control the middle over with the batters? What do you think they're gonna do?
Over, it would be pace, spin. I would. Can you repeat that?
How are the batters going to handle the middle overs? Because based on that, then you can pick a choice between Ashwin and Chahal.
Here's where another thing comes into effect. If we get early breakthroughs, I wouldn't mind going with Chahal because he tries a lot of stuff. He's a bowler that wants the batters to hit him over the rope, or near the rope for a boundary catches. He isn't effective when it comes to bowling them, like get LBW or bowled. I see Kuldeep as a variation for that. It's just because of his lengths that he bowls. If you remember in the last series that he played in Asia Cup, he kept bowling outside off and then basically making it easier for the batter to hit with the shorter boundary there. And his lengths are he doesn't explore his lengths a lot, if it makes sense. Even the commentators talked about that during the Asia Cup. And that's where I feel like Ashwin would do a better job because he has a lot of variations. He's experienced. He's played in Australia like so much, even though it's test matches. He knows the pitches. That's what matters for us too. But against Pakistan, I would probably think the team would pick Chahal, if I'm honest, and not Ashwin. It's just like how DK would get picked over Punt. Chahal, just because it's T20 format. But I would love to see Ashwin play against Pakistan.
I was gonna say talk about DK next. I'm happy India finally like chosen one over the other finally. They haven't, debated for such long. They've definitely chosen DK as their main person. Sorry to say to Punt, but it's just he hasn't been able to click in T20s, and he's still a very good player in the other two formats. Just for this World Cup specifically, we're here to win, and we're not here for sympathy. Realistically, that's what India have to do to win this World Cup. And Punt, he is amazing, but for this World Cup, DK has just shown more, and he can actually help the team a lot more. So I'm happy India has finally done that. Now we move on to our batters.
And even with DK, let me add on to that. That game against South Africa, right? That we lost early wickets and DK came in at number 4.
And he fire.
That I feel like just gave him a huge boost of getting chances, because before that he would only come into bat the last 2 overs. He did good against spin that game. So like I would say he honestly could he gives the flexibility of batting anywhere from the opening, because he's opened before, all the way to number 7, number 8. Yeah. Punt doesn't.
And he doesn't change his batting style too.
Up to 4. Yep, aggressive. Mostly he can't. It's just like Punt, but it's just with his DK's experience, he reads better.
It's more applicable, if that makes sense. Yeah.
He reads, because of his experience, he reads the bowler. He knows what type of lengths he might bowl. So I that's also a huge positive with getting DK.
He'll also be the keeper as well. That's another plus.
If Punt plays, it's going to be Punt, the keeper.
Yeah.
And then DK would probably, again, I want to fit in both of them in the 11, but you can't, because you need Hardik. He's a big commodity. So Hardik would come in place of Punt into the 11 from the last game.
Yeah. Now our batters, they've been doing really well. All of them combined have been propelling our scores. The top 4, knock on wood, are gonna do a lot for us. Then Hardik and DK, they come in, finish the innings. Akshar Patel if it goes down to that late. But okay, so now that's India. Now what's Pakistan? We know Shaheen Shah Afridi. That's the main thing, really. And Naseem Shah, he walks in as well, right? After that Asia Cup, he walks in with Naseem Shah and Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Rauf, Naseem Shah. There are 3 bowlers that are going to be the main for them. And then Shadab Khan automatically makes it in for them with this spin, with this ability to control. Now, fifth bowler with the 5th bowler is where it's going to be pretty tough for them, because they've tried out a lot of people for their 5th bowling option. They tried Hasne, they tried Dahani, they tried Nawaz, and that one, I don't know if they're gonna go with the spinner or a pacer.
I honestly think against India they might go with Nawaz, honestly, but they also just might go with Hasnain, one of those 2.